Your homework for tonight involves you fixing and finishing the work from lesson 16. So on lesson 16, right here, we are going to do problem C. On problem 16, it wants to know what 8 times 4 is, and they give you an array to help you figure it out using the distributive property. So I have 8 times 4, and I'm going to look down at my array. Right here, you can see that you have a group of circles that are all shaded in. Those shaded in circles is one part of the array of the whole. So when we look at it, we can see that we have 5 rows, and they always come with the rows first. So that's where they got 5 from. And they have 4 columns. So that's where they got 4 from. If I were to count all of them, I would get a total of 20, all of the dots. I could count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20. I could count by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. But I would get 20 either way. So I know that this part of the array is equal to 20. Below the dotted line, I have a part of array that is not shaded, and that's this part here. When I look at the array, I want to count the rows first, which happen to be 3. So there's 3 rows. And again, the number of columns have not changed because this is the same array. It's just broken up into shaded and not shaded. So we can see that it still does have 4 columns, which is where they got the 4 from. If I were to count all of the white dots in the white array, I would see a total of 12. So I could write down 12. When I look at the box below, it's just helping me put it all together. 8 times 4 is equal to 5 times 4 plus whatever 3 times 4 is. So they are just simplifying. We've already figured out what 5 times 4 was here at the top. So we know that it's 20. So below, I'm just going to write 20 on the line. We figured out that 3 times 4 is equal to 12, so I'm writing that on the line as well. Now I'm going to add 20 plus 12, because 20 is the same as 5 times 4. That is what equal means. 12 is the same as 3 times 4. So 20 plus 12 will give me the answer to 8 times 4, because equal means it's the same. And because 20 is the same as 5 times 4, and 12 is the same as 3 times 4, and I add those together, that's supposed to be the same as 8 times 4. That's all it means. So 20 plus 12 is 32. That just happens to be my answer up top for C, 32. And that is how you use that for a distributive property. If you look below, there's also a category for number 3, and I'm going to kind of erase what I did here. So for number 3, many of you have review written on that. It says Nolan draws the array below to find the answer to the multiplication expression 10 times 4. He says 10 times 4 is just double 5 times 4. Explain Nolan's strategy. Explain what Nolan did using the thought that you have one whole array here, but it is broken up into shaded and unshaded parts. So when you give your explanation, you should include something about the shaded part and the unshaded part versus the whole thing. And that is your homework example.